Hello my friends, welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you, gentlemen. There is a moment in every connection when the dynamic quietly changes. It's the moment a woman realizes that the man she expected to chase her isn't chasing. At first, it's subtle, almost unnoticeable. But inside her mind, something starts to shift. Something starts to stir. Something starts to question. And eventually, something starts to pursue. Women will never openly admit this, because admitting it would expose just how strongly masculine self-control affects them. But the truth is simple. When you stop chasing her, she doesn't relax. She becomes alert. She becomes curious. She becomes emotionally activated in ways she didn't anticipate. Most men believe the chase is what keeps a woman interested. They assume effort creates attraction and attention earns approval. They think that if they slow down, she'll lose interest. If they stop texting non-stop, she'll pull away. If they don't show constant eagerness, she'll replace them. So they overinvest, overexplain, overgive, and overpursue, trying to make sure she never doubts how much they want her. But in that attempt to prove value, they collapse into something every woman recognizes instantly: emotional dependence. When a man stops chasing, everything changes. Not because he turns cold, but because he becomes grounded. Not because he ignores her, but because he respects himself. Not because he withholds affection, but because he reclaims his energy and stops giving it to someone who hasn't earned it. This shift awakens something powerful in her psychology. Something she doesn't fully understand, but feels deeply. The moment you stop chasing is the moment she begins to see you clearly. She starts evaluating the connection more carefully. She wonders why your attention feels different. She questions what changed inside you. And because the predictable stream of validation is gone, she begins watching your actions more closely. She becomes more aware of her own behavior, more conscious of her effort. And she starts fearing the loss of attention she once took for granted. A woman expects a familiar reaction: neediness, impatience, pressure, panic. She expects a man to double down when she pulls away. But when you do the opposite, when you stay calm, composed, unbothered, and quietly confident, you break the pattern she's used to. That disruption hits deeply. It forces her inward, asking questions she usually avoids. Why isn't he chasing? Did I misjudge his interest? Is he losing attraction? Is he seeing someone else? Did I underestimate him? Those questions create emotional tension. And that tension is what generates pursuit. Here's the psychology women never admit. Women don't chase men they control. They chase men they can't predict. They chase men whose attention feels earned. They chase men who can walk away. Not chasing doesn't mean rejecting her. It means valuing yourself enough to let her choose you. And when she feels she must choose you rather than being chosen automatically, that's when real attraction begins. Before we continue, a quick reminder. Real transformation doesn't happen on YouTube. It happens inside the community. If these videos have opened your eyes, what's inside will completely rebuild your mindset. This isn't just a course. It's a brotherhood. A private space where men master attraction, emotional control, and the psychology of power. You don't join for a month. You join for life. Every future course, book, and lesson is yours forever. No subscriptions. No limits. One decision that changes your direction. If you're serious about growth, discipline, and purpose, click the link below. Join the community. Enroll once, grow forever. Let's begin. Section 1: The Shift in Power. The first thing that happens when you stop chasing a woman isn't anger. And it isn't disappointment. It's confusion. Quiet, subtle, internal confusion. She won't show it, because in her mind, she had already predicted your behavior. She thought she understood your emotional rhythm. She assumed you'd keep giving, keep reaching out, keep proving your interest just to stay close to her. Women form silent expectations about men. And most men live inside those expectations without ever realizing it. They follow a script she's already written for them. But when you stop chasing, that script gets rewritten instantly. Her mind enters unfamiliar territory. You break the pattern that made her comfortable. And this is the first psychological shift that pulls her toward you. Women don't chase men who give predictable attention. Predictability kills tension. Predictability kills curiosity. Predictability kills the emotional pull that draws her closer. When you stop chasing, the emotional landscape changes. Her certainty fades. Her assumptions collapse. She begins feeling something new, the weight of your absence. Women subconsciously expect male pursuit not because they're manipulative, but because masculine eagerness is so common it's become normal. Most men rush toward interest. Most men panic at the thought of losing her. Most men respond instantly just to stay relevant. Most men center their emotional world around her long before she's earned it. So when a man doesn't follow that pattern, when he doesn't chase mixed signals, cold replies, or emotional distance, he stands out immediately. Not chasing reveals something unexpected. You're not emotionally dependent on her reactions. You're not controlled by her mood. You're not shaped by her timing. You're not driven by fear of losing her. This independence is rare. And rare is attractive. Your silence doesn't make her feel superior. It makes her curious. It makes her notice details she ignored. It makes her see you not as another admirer, but as a man who belongs to himself. This is where the pull begins. When a woman senses a man slipping away, not through drama, not through anger, but through quiet self-respect, she starts chasing. Not out of desperation, but out of awakening. Your silence becomes a mirror. It reflects her effort. Your lack of pursuit exposes where she fell short. Your calmness highlights her inconsistency. Your distance reveals her assumptions. And here's the deepest truth she'll never say: when you stop chasing her, she starts chasing the version of you she can no longer predict, control, or easily win back. Your silence isn't rejection. It's revelation. Section 2: The Emotional Gap. The moment you stop chasing, a psychological gap forms inside her mind. Not a gap created by coldness, but by contrast. The contrast between the attention she expected and the silence she doesn't understand. Between the energy you once gave and the calm neutrality you now hold. Between the man she thought she knew and the man she suddenly can't fully read. Humans notice what disappears. Women notice emotional shifts even more. And nothing shifts deeper than the disappearance of a man's pursuit. At first, she may tell herself it doesn't matter. She may claim she prefers the space. But internally, the contrast creates tension, and tension creates focus. Women don't chase because you pull away. They chase because your absence forces them to confront their own emotions. This gap is where attraction is born. Conversations that were guaranteed become rare. Attention she ignored becomes meaningful. Validation she took for granted must now be earned. Your absence becomes louder than your presence ever was. Silence doesn't push her away. It pulls her inward. She starts asking questions she never asked before. Why did he slow down? Did I push him away? Is he losing interest? Is someone else in the picture? Was I too distant? These questions don't weaken her. They activate her. Your absence magnifies your value. Your silence amplifies your confidence. Your composure deepens your mystery. People chase what they fear losing more than what they already have. This gap doesn't make her desperate. It makes her aware. Section 3. The activation of pursuit. When you stop chasing, her pursuit instinct awakens. This isn't manipulation. It's psychology. Women don't value what's endlessly available. They value what requires effort and emotional investment. When you're always within reach, she relaxes. When you step back with strength and self-respect, she awakens. Uncertainty fuels attraction. Not insecurity, uncertainty. Most men never experience a woman chasing them because they never stop chasing long enough to allow the shift. Their constant pursuit suffocates her opportunity to invest. But the man who steps back calmly creates space for her pursuit to emerge naturally. She starts testing the connection in subtle ways. Faster replies. More questions. Unexpected messages. Warmer tone. Small initiations. These are micro-pursuits. Quiet signals of rising investment. A woman rarely chases loudly at first. Pride won't allow it. But she chases through curiosity, consistency, and effort. The dynamic flips. She's no longer deciding if she wants you. She's wondering if she's losing you. And when a woman fears losing a man she respects, she adjusts. She softens. She becomes intentional. She drops the games. She invests. Not because you forced her, but because your energy now has value. Section 4. The collapse of her ego. When you stop chasing, something quietly crumbles. Not her confidence, her ego. Her ego is built on certainty. Certainty about who stays, who tries, who waits. When you follow the pattern, she feels in control. When you break it with calm distance, control dissolves. Your attention was part of her emotional routine. When it disappears, something breaks. She stops seeing you as someone earning her approval and starts seeing you as someone she might lose. She replays moments. Reconsiders her behavior. Recognizes effort she didn't give. This isn't pain, it's awakening. A woman's ego collapses not when a man leaves loudly, but when he leaves quietly. Section 5. The fear of loss. Every woman carries a quiet fear, the fear of losing a man who is truly valuable. Not a man who chases endlessly, but a man who is calm, grounded, and self-sufficient. When you stop chasing, that fear awakens. Not as panic, but as awareness. She feels your absence. She senses the shift. And uncertainty returns. People respect what they fear losing. They value what isn't guaranteed. Your calm distance communicates one truth clearly: you're not afraid to walk away. And when a woman feels that, everything changes. She becomes more intentional. More feminine. More invested. Because your silence isn't emptiness, it's a boundary. In the end, your worth becomes visible the moment you stop trying to prove it. Women don't chase men they control. They chase men they respect. Not chasing her isn't about making her chase you. It's about choosing yourself. And when you choose yourself, you become the man she chooses back, not out of comfort, but conviction. If you're ready to lead with purpose, join the community below. Enroll once. Grow forever. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. God bless you.